Hi and welcome to another King Geoffrey War Review. As always, we'll be showing a few replays and talking about the war we just had, which was a pretty epic one. But first of all, just quickly want to say we think today is going to be update day. So big thing for the Town Hall 10s mostly is going to be the addition of 25 new walls. I'm going to write a post on Band about how we're going to deal with this, but basically it's going to mean that Town Hall 10 attacking is going to be much more difficult, which is a good thing because I think it's been much too easy against some of the mediocre clans we've faced for their Town Hall 10s to 2-star all our Town Hall 10s and then have spare Town Hall 10 attacks to clean up and 3-star Town Hall 9s. Whereas we, as people know, 3-star the Town Hall 9s with Town Hall 9s and then our Town Hall 10s take the Town Hall 10s. So the previous update gave worse players more of an advantage than the good players, in my opinion. So hopefully these extra walls at Town Hall 10 are going to mean Town Hall 10s are going to need to use more Town Hall 10 attacks on Town Hall 10s instead of being able to pick on Town Hall 9s once they've 2-starred all the Town Hall 10s. That should help us. But I will go into more detail in a post I'm going to write on Band, and we're going to explain what we think the best way forward is with these extra walls, how it will be best to upgrade them, whether we should build one at a time and upgrade them to a reasonable level, or whether we should build all of them and then upgrade all of them at once. But we'll talk about that later in a different post or a different video. For the time being, we're talking about war. As you can see, it is update day today. My storages are full. I have a shield, but I have been pushing, so I'm high up. But I bought a shield. I bought a 2-day shield because basically with the last war being really tough and the update coming today, and I've got a few other things to do, I'm just not going to have time to push as well. So instead of doing like I did yesterday with it being a really tough war and I ended up doing 2 raids the whole day, then I've just bought a shield for now so we can deal with the new update and see what that brings. But anyway, for now, let's go to the wars. Or war. War has ended. Victory 83-79, and it was a scrap of a war. Let's have a look at their team. Enemy team. Wars won 122. Now that doesn't seem like a huge amount, but as we do every war, we research and we Google and we dig and we see what we can find on the enemy clan, and we did find out that their war record is 122 wins and only 12 defeats. Oh, sorry, that's I got that mixed up. Sorry, 13 defeats now. Yeah, because we just beat them. So 122 wins, 13 defeats. Obviously 12 defeats was better than 13, but we beat them now, so that's 122 wins, 13 defeats. The thing about this clan was they seemed very strategical. Their strategy was very good. I was impressed with the way they had their lower Town Hall 10s attack first and get as many 2-stars as possible, which left their higher guys plenty of attacks to rain down on our ass later. But they didn't do anything other than 2-star and 3-star Town Hall 9, so it wasn't too bad. So the war, it was a very tough one. These guys were very good. They had a very good record. I will say this before we talk about anything else. I'm not going to accuse these guys of cheating or anything, but I just want to show you one of the raids from earlier on in the war, and then that should say a lot of things and people can make their own mind up about something. Sorry about this, but I just want to show this at the beginning because I don't want to accuse clans of anything on YouTube, but I just want to show this attack. Any enemy clans watching, these bombs and traps won't be in the same position from now on. So yeah, that was the first attack on that base. Only used 3 troops to set off those exact traps. Funnily enough, there were no more traps up there. why only use those 3 in those specific places. He dropped troops all the way along. You can see he drops wizards to the left hand side as well. But he didn't check for traps there. So yeah, anyway, just wanted to show that. Saves me a lot of talking, saves me a lot of trying to explain things. But yep, so you can see that first before anything else. And 83.79 was the victory. It was a fantastic performance. Let's have a look at some raids. So the first raid is by Easy Rockin on number 2. This, one of those anti-3-star bases. So anti-3-star bases are, as it says on the tin, they are anti-3-star, which makes them fairly easy to 2-star. Personally, I'm not sure why clans who can't 3-star Town Hall 10s use anti-3-star Town Hall 10 bases, because if they come up against a clan that can 3-star Town Hall 10 bases, basically they're in the shit anyway. And if they don't come up against clans who 3-star Town Hall 10 bases, it's going to make it much easier for those people to 2-star them, which is going to give them more leftover attacks to 3-star Town Hall 9s. So not quite sure why people who can't 3-star Town Hall 10s use anti-3-star Town Hall 10 bases themselves. Just one of those things that doesn't make sense to me. But that's a great raid by Easy. Doing the job. Broomster on number 3. Broomster taking on Food. Fahood, I don't know. It's whatever. Anyway. So he's going to attack this one from that bottom side. As you can see, it has a single Inferno. So it's carrying a freeze for that. It'll be interesting for me to see what these extra 25 walls do. Because at the moment at Town Hall 10, ever since moving to Town Hall 10, I did feel like there wasn't enough walls to be able to protect everything on the base. You're either going to give away easy 50% or giving away an easy Town Hall. It was fairly impossible to defend against both. Like I said with the anti-3-star bases, because the anti-3-star bases have the Town Hall usually near the edge, they're very easy to 2-star. I do think with the addition of these extra 25 walls, it's going to be interesting to see these anti-3-star bases now, because I think with the extra 25 walls, these anti-3-star bases are going to be, fairly easy to convert them to anti-2-star bases. So it's going to be interesting to see what comes up with the designs. The same with these designs like this one with the Southern Teaser type bases, which is aimed at making people go from the bottom, giving an easier Town Hall but having all the bombs there and having it harder to get to Town Hall from the top. People are now going to be able to make bases that are hard to get to the Town Hall from the top and from the bottom. So it's going to be very interesting to see what sort of designs come up and how much more difficult the bases are going to be to attack, because I think 25 walls, I think that's quite a lot to add to some of the bases that we already have. Same as these bases that, as well, some of the bases that basically give away the Town Hall, like my base or like Credo's base, but the Town Hall is very heavily defended. That means once you've finished with the Town Hall, a lot of troops have died, and then it's going to be very hard to get the 50%. You're now going to be able to make those bases even more difficult. So, on the other hand, though, I think it's also going to make... It might make 50% more easy, actually, because with the extra walls, bases are going to be bigger. So, I think maybe defences are going to be even more spread out. So, people are going to have to be careful that the backside defences aren't so far away from the front side that it makes it easier for 2-stars, because there's not so many defences hitting troops all at once. That can be an advantage with the tight designed bases, that a lot of defences are shooting all at once on the golems and things, whereas if they're more spread out, that's not going to be the case. Guernsey did a very good attack on number 5, but I'm not going to show that because it's the same base that we have. It's exactly the same base that Tito has, and Tito, I think they had to attack him 5 times in this war before they got the 2-star. So I'm not going to show Guernsey's raid because basically I'll just be showing you how to beat our own bases. So I'm not going to do that, but it was a very good raid. We're going to watch Save instead on this one. Again, not the best base design. Not anti-2, not anti-3. I'm not quite sure what that was. This is supposed to be, but I mean, we don't 3-star many Town Hall 10s. We do 3-star Town Hall 10s sometimes, but max Town Hall 10s we very rarely 3-star them. So. But we are practicing and we are trying to learn 3-star strategies, so we'll see what happens in the future. We're getting more and more people now with max heroes, so who knows? But we'll have to see what these new base designs bring. So here again, this is one of those bases that is basically designed that you go at the Town Hall first. It's not an anti-3, but it's one that it makes it hard after you've taken the Town Hall. If you hit it head on, it's hard to get the 2nd star because there's so many defences down there at the bottom. But Peter attacks it very, very well. A base that actually looks much easier than it actually is. A really good raid by Rhino. 1 minute left of this. All it's going to be is clean up, so we're not going to watch that. Save on number 8. We've already seen Save. Tin Man. We're going to watch Tin Man, yeah. I was just wondering there if it was one of our bases again, but no, this isn't one of our bases. Another thing with the update is that tiebreakers. If a war ends in a tie, it goes on damage percentage done on the best attacks. So I want to just remind people from now on, never end your attacks. Always use all your troops. Even if you've got the 50% and the Town Hall, don't end the raid to save your heroes, and don't end the raid before you've used cleanup troops. So if you've got it, don't just throw your cleanup troops in a corner. Use every single troop, get every percentage point that you can, because if it's a tie, it could make a big difference. I probably won't need to post anything extra about the new walls and everything, because I think I'm talking quite a lot now. Sorry if I'm talking too much, but I don't pre-plan most of these videos, and this video isn't pre-planned. I've not planned which raids I'm going to show. I've not planned anything that I'm going to say. Basically, I've just got my iPad, mirrored it to my computer, and pressed record and started talking, basically. So I'm sorry if sometimes everything's a bit jumbled up and I repeat myself, but nothing is scripted. It's all basically comes into my head and I open my mouth, and that's about it. So let's how far have we gone? 13 minutes into the video. So I think what I'm going to do now, should I show more Town Hall 10 raids? Oh yeah, I got to show this one. I really liked this one. Conrad's attacked this base before. He's very good at it. I did like this raid. This I think was one of our best Town Hall 10 raids. Breaking from the norm and just doing the one jump using wall breakers. Don't see that very often these days. Probably going to be seeing it again soon with all the walls coming up. But this was a very nice raid. I really, really liked this raid. His spell placement was absolutely spot on, really. Queen distracted by the hound, but didn't really even need the queen for this raid. It's a very, very nice raid. In fact, Credo would probably have gotten a war hero, but his second raid he got Town Hall 9 and 49%, so it was also another very good raid, but yeah, have to go with results as well. So, but yeah, Conrad, one of our best attackers in my opinion. So, do we show any now? We'll go to the Town Hall 9s now. I don't want to show... I'm not going to show mine. I don't want to show Wuxia's because Wuxia's, although it was a really nice raid, again, it's on a base that we have ourselves, so I don't want to show people how to 2-star our bases. So we're going to watch the Town Hall 9s now. We definitely do not have any of these bases. This was one of the things about this clan that didn't impress me, was their Town Hall 9 bases. I think the reason for this is because the strategy they use, that they do have, they usually have a lot of high Town Hall 10 attacks left over. And as we know, in most wars, you don't need to 3-star all Town Hall 9s. If you 3-star 6, 7, 8 Town Hall 9s, you usually win the war. But in this case, this war, we 3-starred all the Town Hall 9s, so they had to do something a bit better, which they couldn't do. But I think that's why they didn't pay so much attention to their Town Hall 9 bases, because they have so many, usually have so many attacks left over, and they're good at 3-starring Town Hall 9s. So I'm guessing that it doesn't matter if the enemy 3-star 4, 5, 6 of their bases, they're going to win anyway. Unfortunately, this war they came up against a clan that were very good at 3-starring Town Hall 9s and had very good anti-3-star bases themselves. So they actually, it cost them this war. Their lack of good Town Hall 9 bases actually cost this clan dearly. So yeah, there we go, 100% by Ray. We're going to watch Butter next on number 25. I mean, their Town Hall 9 designs weren't bad. This one wasn't too bad, but they had far too many that were just like a square box with the Town Hall in the middle. So, you know, they're not going to cause too many problems. So Butter cleaning up the Queen and a few air defense. He's doing a Go Lava. Blue. Butter got 2 3-stars this war, so it's a really, really good performance by him. Again, another guy who's probably one of our best attackers. Been doing really well lately. I think he's been using a few different strategies as well. I think he does Go-Ho sometimes as well, I'm not sure. I think he mostly does Go Lava Balloon, but he can do Go-Ho as well. So really nice job by him. Got his heroes up to 30-30 as well now. Bit of gemming been going on there by the looks of it. Nothing wrong with that. Muxie. Oh, this was actually King Geoffrey's first ever successful Queen walk, I think. Sorry if somebody else has done it before and I missed it, but pretty sure this is the first one we've ever done that's actually resulted in 3 stars. I know Mayfair did one that was a complete fail, and Ray did one. Ray actually attacked this base, the same as this, but the king, he misplaced his king and he didn't get his king into the base. So this is basically the exact same raid as Ray did, but he drops his king a little bit further to the side so that he goes in. It was a really nice raid. Healer's down now, but Queen still at full health, not used ability, and half the base is missing. I think we'll probably be using this strategy a lot more going forward. And as Town Hall 10s are concerned, I don't know what the new 25 walls will bring, but maybe we'll see Queen walk more at Town Hall 10 as well. Not sure. We'll have to see. Great raid. 3 stars. Video's at 20 minutes now, so I'm not going to show too many more raids. I'm going to show a couple more, I think, Town Hall 9 raids, and then that'll wrap it up, because I don't want to make the videos too long. In future, I think I'm going to try and make the war review videos a little bit shorter. It's hard to do because a lot of the raids that I show are similar raids, and we do the raids quite a lot, so I am showing a lot of raids, and most of them are purely for, you know, if you're in the video you can say, oh, I got in the video this week. The actual raids themselves, we know the strategies, we know how to use them, we've seen them all before, so it's hard to know whether I should make a video, talk less and show more raids, or I should show less raids and talk more about the war, the strategy, how it went and stuff like that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to do. But going forward, I think I'm going to change the way I do the reviews a little bit, because at the moment I think they're a bit the same. They're the same raids, on the same sort of basis. So I think once you've seen one review, you've sort of seen them all. So I think going forward I might actually start talking less about the raids and just trying to make the videos a little bit shorter and just do a quick overview of the war, like I used to do with when I did the written reviews. People who've been here a long while know I used to do written reviews for the wars. Me and Wuxia used to take turns. We used to point out the positives and the negatives and what we can improve on. Might get back to that a little bit, but doing it in a video rather than written. So talk about how the war went, what we can improve on, what we did well, what we didn't do so well, and things like that. So going forward, I think that's sort of more what I'm going to go and do, rather than concentrating on the raids themselves, because we all know these raids, we do them, we can just watch these in the background and while we talk about the war, instead of talking about updates and trophy portion and basically talking about other random stuff and how enemies might IMod and stuff like that. I think I want to get back to war reviews basically being a review of the war, because at the moment I just feel they're a little bit, you know, I'm just showing raids and talking shit basically. So a few less raids, a few less shit talking in future. Probably just show the war heroes and the best 5 raids or something like that. But that's it. So we won 83.79, 3 stars, 13. They got 9 3 stars. Neither clan got any 1 stars. It was a pretty high quality war, to be honest. So let's have a look at war heroes. Let's see. Broom and Big One, Town Hall 10 war heroes. Town Hall 9 war heroes will be Mayfair and Butter. They both got 6 stars. So Mayfair, Butter, Broom and Big One are the war heroes for this war. So that about wraps things up, really. We'll be starting a war later today once the update drops, so we can have a look at that first. Yeah, that's it. So if you want to check us out, at the end of the video there's going to be a little bit of a screenshot with the upcoming push date and the website addresses in there. So Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it wasn't too long. I'm going to try and make them a little bit shorter and a little bit more to the point in future. Yeah, enjoy your day. Hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye.